Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Siebert. It's time for the Tropical Forecast here on YouTube with Fox 26 Houston. Now, we've been tracking a couple of things in the Atlantic this week. Now, the one that was over by the Windward Islands, blown apart. It's not going to do anything, so the National Hurricane Center is not tracking that any longer. They're still giving this area a 10% chance to become organized. Now, yesterday it had a 20% chance. A couple of days ago, had a 30% chance over the next 5 days. And so the chances have been dropping, and the reason they're dropping is that the upper level winds are very strong. So you can see the darker area of red. This is where the convection is. But if you look around the edges to see how that area of there is kind of blowing off in that direction, and actually we have more low pressure, it looks better over in this area too. But this is where the upper level winds are the strongest, and it continues to blow everything off. Therefore, even though there is circulation by the Bahamas, it just isn't going to have a chance to really grow into anything. Now, what's interesting is that what will have more of an impact on the U.S. is what's happening in the Pacific right now. This is Pamela. So you see Puerto Vallarta is right there, and you see the spinning. It's got real good convection. So it's been growing stronger. And if you also look carefully, this doesn't have wind shear like what we're talking about. Do you see how what we're seeing here, everything's kind of working in conjunction. You don't see any clouds going off in a different direction than what the circulation is doing. So as you look at the currents, it's got winds at 70 miles per hour. And at this point, it's possible that, in fact, we just got the update from the National Hurricane Center. It might not become a hurricane before making landfall. It really doesn't make a difference to us, because what's going to happen is it's going to move onshore, move across from Wednesday to Thursday across Mexico, and then come into Texas. Now, when it comes to Texas, it's not going to be a tropical system as far as a storm or depression or anything, but it's going to have a lot of moisture, and it's going to go right into central Texas. Now, we're on the edge of this. We're down here to the south, here in the Houston area, but anywhere right along this path, that's going to be the prime area for lots of heavy rainfall. And so excessive rainfall is going to become likely Thursday into Friday as this system pushes through. Now, by Friday, a cold front's going to come down and push all of this out of the way. But between now and then, it's going to be pretty interesting. So we've got high pressure here that's offshore here in the Gulf. We've got this next low pressure area that's going to be pushing more fronts towards us. And so it's just going to get squeezed right between these two things. And that's why the remnants are not going to come directly over Houston. And this high is going to help push it out of the way. Now, this high also has a lot of dry air. And so it's going to make this window a very tight window of moisture that's going to get squeezed right through this area. So that's what we're going to watch between now and Thursday into Friday. And as far as rainfall totals, well, it gets pretty interesting in central Texas and up towards Dallas. Now, for us right now, it looks like we could get maybe an inch of rain. But it's close enough that we're going to watch this very carefully, because any of these areas where you see the darker blues, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 inches of rain, not out of the question. So it's going to be an active weather pattern in central Texas up towards Dallas, and this is tropically related, but not so much maybe for us here in the Houston area. So that's what's going on right now. As far as any storms moving in our direction, doesn't look like that's going to happen in the Atlantic basin, but what's happening with Pamela is definitely going to have an influence, especially in central Texas, and it's yet to be determined how much of an impact we'll have in the Houston area, but to me it looks like 1 to 2 inches of rainfall between now and Thursday or Friday is a good possibility, and then a front comes through and clears everything out. That's the forecast for today. We'll see you next time.